Good evening. Welcome to Music Minute at Epiphany Lutheran Church. I'm Kevin Barger, the Director of Music Ministries, and we're coming from my home studio this evening as we take a look at the hymns for tomorrow, the fourth Sunday of Easter. And tomorrow will be Youth Sunday for us, so we have maybe a little bit different arrangement of hymns tomorrow. And we're going to start with Awesome God. And Awesome God was actually written by Rich Mullins, who unfortunately was a composer who died when he was, I think, 41 years old in a car accident. But he composed this to acknowledge God's awesome power. And the story goes that he was driving on his way to a youth concert in Colorado, and he was somewhere in the mountains of nowhere, and he was trying to stay awake. So he started thinking of sort of the preachers that preach, fire, hell, brimstone, all those kind of things, and he rolled down the window and started shouting out phrases to keep himself awake. And then he remembered those phrases until he got to his destination in Colorado, and then he ended up teaching the youth this song, which became Awesome God, which was his number one seller that he had in all of his. He wrote about 300 different hymns. So at any rate, this is a version of Awesome God. Okay, so the next one that I'm going to play actually includes Awesome God again. So as I said, tomorrow is Youth Sunday, and we have a variety of different hymns which are lesser known, maybe since they're not in our hymnals, But this one contains Humble Thyself in the Sight of the Lord as well, which we have done in prior Sundays. We're not singing this tomorrow. A little bit of history on that, though. This one was written, by Bob Hudson, and he was really trying to capture the reverence of God and the fact that you could be God-fearing and make sure that all you had to do was humble thyself and humble yourself to the Lord. And so that's what he did this, but it's combined with Awesome God as well. So I'm going to put the two together so you get to hear a little bit more of Awesome God. It'll start with Humble Thyself in the Sight of the Lord. And again, we're not singing this tomorrow, but we are singing Awesome God. So, Humble Thyself in the Sight of the Lord with Awesome God. So again, you should really know it well now, right? If you're coming to worship, since you get to hear it twice. And then our last one that we're going to use for tonight, for Music Minute anyway, is Lord, I Lift Your Name on High. And this is in our Evangelical Lutheran Worship hymnal. And this actually, from the period 1997 to 2003, was the #1 song used in churches across America out of any other song. So whether it was contemporary, traditional, it didn't matter. It was out of any other song used in the church, in those 7 years, this was the most popular. And really this was written based on a cycle of events. So it was the heaven to earth to show the way. And it was, he went from the cross to the grave with a debt to pay to God. And then he rose and went from earth to sky. So it's this kind of cause and event sort of thing that happens through here. So here we have a little bit of an arrangement and variations on Lord, I Lift Your Name on High. So you might recognize that. If you're joining us in worship in the sanctuary tomorrow, that'll be at 8:30 and 11 o'clock. And as always has the senior sermons, which are always really wonderful, and we enjoy hearing those. So those will be featured, and you can join us online if you're not comfortable in the sanctuary, and that will be at 11 o'clock on our YouTube channel. Thanks again for joining us tonight. Have a great evening.